Hello and welcome to Perspectives. I'm Sam Jones, and we begin today with Meg Gould, Executive Director of the Tulsa Office of Film, Music, Art, and Culture. Meg, good to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
How long have you been on the job?
I've been in Tulsa for 2.5 years now.
Really?
I have, yep.
Do you speak the language of the film folk that you have to?
I do. My background is in film, and so I started out as a production coordinator, production manager on films out in Los Angeles, moved back to Dallas, worked there for a little while, and then was part of the film commission there, and then got the opportunity to come to Tulsa.
A lot of people don't realize it's a business.
It is a business. It's not all show.
No, and it's hard.
Yep.
Really difficult.
It is.
But we have been fortunate. We've had some pretty good film work knocked out, and I'm sure you were involved in
Yep.
bringing Sylvester Stallone and some of the others in most recently. Is there anything on the drawing board that you're working on right now that you can talk about?
Absolutely. We, first of all, one of the things that brings the business in is our state incentives. So it's 20 to 30% back. It's a rebate on money spent in Oklahoma on those projects. So that in itself has been inviting to filmmakers to come here and film. Lately, since 2021, we got that cap raised to 30 million. So that's been bringing in the Killers of the Flower Moon, Twisters, some of those larger projects. We also have a new television series called The Lowdown for FX that will also be shown on Hulu that will be premiering September 23rd. So we're really excited about that. It's Sterling Harjo's new project, our local filmmaker here that did Reservation Dogs. And then it's starring Ethan Hawke. So it's going to be an amazing series. So far, there's all kinds of buzz around it, and it's even premiering at the Toronto International Film Festival on the opening night. So that tells you that how much it's going to be.
Oh, that's great.
How popular it's going to be.
And you're doing a good job, and it's good for Tulsa to get this kind of publicity.
Yeah, we're so excited. It's a Tulsa story. So first of all, you'll see Tulsa all over the series. And it's just authentically Tulsa. And we just can't wait until other people see it. You know, we've had in the past Reservation Dogs, Killers of the Flower Moon. This is going to be totally different. So we're really excited and can't wait to see where it goes.
You know, I'm not smart enough to jump in the mix here, but I do know there's a story to be told about Frank and Wade Phillips and the tunnels, their connection to the tunnels, and why they were built and how they were built and all. I mean, I'd love to see a film around that somehow, other than a documentary.
Start writing your scripts and we'll get you some funding and get it here.
I can write one, although I don't know. Well, that's another thing. We can try taking a look at it. What kind of buzz is Oklahoma, and let's be more specific, is Tulsa getting with the folks in Hollywood?
We're really on the radar now. One thing that is holding us back is that we need additional funds for the incentive. Right now it's capped at $30 million. What would bring even more recognition to Oklahoma is $80 million. That would bring in the larger projects. Right now our sweet spot is independent film. So we do a lot of those. We just had 2 that wrapped up and we have another one prepping. And so that we love those because that keeps our crew working in between those larger projects like The Lowdown. And we have had like really good filmmakers coming out of here. So Sterling Harjo has brought a lot of buzz to Tulsa. And when people see the success that's going to come after The Lowdown, I'm sure that we'll even get more recognition.
Well, right on the edge of the city proper, as you well know, there are ranches. I mean, conceivably a Western. Conceivably not. I don't know.
I have 2 scripts right now that are Westerns.
Oh, do you really? Oh, good. I know some great places.
You know, we'll see if they'll actually come here. But yeah, one actually was just here scouting locations. So hopefully they'll like pull the trigger and come to Tulsa and film it.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but I mean, that is a selling point in itself, is that you can go any direction outside of Tulsa and you're going to get a different location or a different feel, a different region. And that helps us sell the area for sure, because people don't want to be driving all over and taking hours to get to places. So when you have no traffic, and well, compared to other places like New York and Los Angeles and Atlanta and Dallas, then it's a selling point in itself, because if they have a company move during the day, they have to shut down for hours. Here, they shut down for an hour and then they're up and going again. So it makes a big selling point. We have a great permit department here that is cheap, and we get our permits out really quickly. So that's another selling point. So there's a lot to Tulsa that makes it really easy to film here.
You know, I think I mentioned to you before we started to tape this get-together that I was down by Boston Avenue Methodist Church. I'd heard that they, had a film crew down there. And when we got down there, the parking lot on the west side of the church was just covered up in trailers and trucks and that sort of thing. And on the south parking lot is where they had their food kitchens set up, for the actors and the technicians. It was quite an organization and quite interesting to watch.
Yeah.
A lot more goes into it than people realize. Absolutely.
And it's putting a lot of money into our economy, because they are using those caterers. They're using dry cleaners. They're using lumber mills that go and get, to build their sets. So there's a lot more money going into our local economy than a lot of people realize.
Would you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Keep us on your mailing list.
Absolutely.
When you've got things coming in you want to brag about, call, we'll slip you in, we'll talk about it. And
I would love that. Yeah.
Even auditions, I might go.
We'll get you signed up.
Yeah, I want to be a cowboy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you again down the road.
Absolutely.
Short break, we'll be back, and we'll have more right after this. And we're back with Tulsa Master Gardener, Diane Hambric. Diane, what does it take to become a Master Gardener?
I think it's a love of gardening, primarily, but it could be a lot of different things. Most of our Master Gardeners, they do have an interest in gardening, of some aspect of gardening. So you can come to us. We have orientation classes, find out what it's all about, see if it's a good fit for you. Then we do interviews with potential candidates, usually about 100 candidates each season, which just happened this last few weeks. After that, they do interviews with these folks, and about 40 to 45 are chosen to become part of the program.
Interesting. I had no idea it was so involved.
It is involved, and then the candidates then become apprentices, and they do 3 months of classes through Oklahoma State University. The professors come to us and teach those new students what it is in various aspects of gardening. Lots and lots of different choices of classes that you can take. And then after that, you go through a year's internship, and then you become a Tulsa Master Gardener.
I recall not my parents, but my grandparents who weren't involved in farming, yet had these huge gardens.
Yep.
They never had insects. They never had any kind of problems with them.
Wow. Yeah.
Times change. Older folks die off, and we lose a lot.
Absolutely.
And I think this organization's a blessing.
It is a blessing, and it not only helps educate the public about a myriad of opportunities with gardening issues, such as perhaps potential problems in a vegetable garden, but it also creates a camaraderie amongst a group of people that all have a common interest. And so it hits you on all different levels. It just is a great thing to do.
A couple of things here. I don't want to run out of time with you because we never have enough.
Of course.
You're here to talk about the Lunch and Learn events taking place between September 23rd and October 16th What's that about?
Well, we started this about 8 years ago, and it is educational classes that go on Tuesdays at Central Library downtown, and on Thursdays at Hardesty Library out on Memorial. And we have a myriad of different classes that are really excellent, taught by Tulsa Master Gardeners. They are intriguing classes, and we have really wonderful attendance. So if you wish, the reason why we called it Lunch and Learn, you can bring your lunch if you're at the office downtown and want to have a nice noon break to go have lunch and learn from Tulsa Master Gardeners.
We have some folks in our neighborhood that are really into gardening, flowers. No lawn, no lawn at all. Flowers, or bushes, weeds, whatever. Things that I don't recognize. I didn't know we had in Oklahoma. They grow. And they seem to be just, you know, bustling with energy to do it.
Sure. Yeah, we've got a lot of energy, and that's what we're all about. Some of those classes include things as 4 seasons of garden interest is one of our classes. It's going to be very interesting. Talking about how you can have that color and interesting planting materials year-round, which will be a wonderful class.
I'm intrigued by one area of study that you do, and that's exploring insects, because we have a wide range of insects available in
Yes, we
Oklahoma,
do.
don't we?
We sure do. And what our Exploring Insects program is, it's been going on probably about 6, 7, 8 years. We take 3rd graders from the Tulsa area. They come during a single day. There's a morning session and an afternoon session. And they come, and there's about 1,000 3rd graders that attend this event. We have around 20, 25 booths that are just fascinating to these kids. They end up learning that insects are a good thing for the most part. Most insects are a good thing. And so they overcome that fear of, oh my gosh, look at that giant tarantula, or look at that huge. Yeah, so they get to learn that those insects can be a very good thing, and they have a blast. We have things like roach races, and they get to try and eat some of the fried bugs that we have. They can do all kinds of things, and the kids just absolutely love it. But the classes, the teachers have to sign up for them. It's not just open to any person that wants to come in. You actually have to enroll in the class. On our website is the place for the teachers to do that. And the 3rd graders just absolutely love it.
You know, every year we have an invasion, if you will, of monarch butterflies.
Yes.
But for the last couple of years, that's kind of fallen off. We don't get as many. And I read an article in National Geographic that cited a myriad of reasons for that. But they can be brought back. It's incredible, first of all, how far they travel.
Yeah, down to Mexico, I believe.
And
Yeah.
to make a trip all the way to Oklahoma.
Yeah, we're part of that migratory path.
Yeah.
And they're looking for the right food, and that's what they need. And I guess there are some insecticides that are not doing the monarchs any good. So yeah, it's a concerted effort by people to make sure those monarchs are available. I just saw my first monarch in my garden yesterday.
Really?
So yeah, so I'm hoping they're on their way.
Well, there's also some insecticides that don't do people much good either.
Yes, exactly.
They're very dangerous. The grade students, now you have flyers on the students that go through programs, right?
Yes, different programs are all over for different students. You mean the grade school students? Yes, the programs, we've got this Exploring Insects program that they are more than welcome to attend.
Do you ever find a student that goes through that aha moment?
Yes, absolutely.
I'd love to see that
Oh yeah,
sometime.
I've actually got videos of them going, whoa.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to watch the kids. They just absolutely love it.
A while ago, we had some video running of youngsters followed by some framed butterflies. And some of them just striking.
Oh yes, those come to us from Oklahoma State University. They actually supply us with a lot of the actual insects themselves and the display cases that are filled with fascinating insects that
Are
you just can't
these
believe.
insects and butterflies found in Oklahoma, all of them?
No, no. If you watch those videos, you'll see insects that are lime green and are from this to this. No, we don't have them in Oklahoma. Or these centipedes that can crawl all up and down. I like to do that booth. I love to have those little things just crawling all up and down my arms. And the kids just...
You're a strange woman. You know that?
Yes, I've been told that before.
Well, I know when I have a problem with fishing, and I see things when I'm on a stream somewhere, fly fishing, that just melt my heart.
Oh, sure.
That you
Sure.
don't see in town.
Right.
And I have to put two and two together and say, well, we have too many insecticides.
Yep, that's true. In fact, one of the Master Gardeners told me when you drive, in the old days, when you would drive from Tulsa to Oklahoma City on Turner Turnpike, at the end of that drive, you'd had bugs splattered all over your car. Notice these days, you don't have that happen. It's because we have so much fewer insects because of pesticides.
Pesticides.
Yep. It's true.
Well, what is they said about war is not good for any living thing, children included.
Yep.
You know, or something to that effect.
Yep.
I guess pesticides are the same way.
Just about. I mean, they have their place and they're important in certain aspects, absolutely. But when it's overkill, it can really be damaging to the ecology.
We're out of time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you come back?
I surely will.
Like
Thank
to
you very
have
much.
Back. And we'll have more right after this. Andy Fusco is the executive director of the Tulsa Garden Center at Woodward Park. And their Wine and Roses event is coming up soon, along with a lot of other things. Andy, good to see you, lad.
Thanks for having me.
A little bit about the park itself. First of all, there's some construction going on.
Yeah, so if visitors drive by either on 21st or Peoria, you're going to see a lot of construction fencing and whatnot, and that's a project it's been going on for a little bit, slated to go on for a little bit longer, but it's some much needed improvements to the stormwater pipe that goes through there, so the invisible parts of the park.
Yeah.
But also they're going to be redoing the hillsides where the azaleas used to be and all of that good stuff. So it'll look really good when it's all said and done.
Are they going to have the azaleas back?
There will be some azaleas, but it's going to be really a much more sustainable planting. I haven't looked at the planting plan in a while. That was done by a lot of the professionals in the Parks Department, but there was a focus on making sure there was color year round. Of course, the azaleas used to be beautiful, but when they were done, they were done. So they're really looking at a more mixed, sustainable planting. And the good thing about that is that there's color year round.
You were just named executive director,
Yep.
right? What are some of the plans on the drawing board?
There's a lot of really interesting, fun things happening in the park. Of course, the Garden Center remains what we call the horticulture hub. So we still have all of our plant societies, the reason we were founded. Mm-hmm. So we have 15 plant societies under our umbrella.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so everything from the old school Garden Club, Herb Society, Rose Society to we're getting ready to add one this fall, a new carnivorous plant society that we're really passionate about. So all of that really fun community stuff where if you have an interest, you can come.
We'll play on words there.
Yeah. The plant puns kind of write themselves, but so we still are doing all of that old school stuff. The Teaching Garden has lots of fun events coming up in the fall. We're launching a new training program for our volunteers as well. And a lot of really good stuff, and always in constant contact with our oldest partners, the city of Tulsa themselves, about ways that we can collaborate to continue to make sure that Woodward Park continues to be a place for the community.
Well, you mentioned volunteers. Then, do you also utilize docents that work with visitors that want to know more?
Yeah, we actually have a docent training coming up on October 4th. It's a half-day training. You get to learn a little bit about the history of the park, So the Garden Center's history woven into the park's history, and a little bit about the teaching garden, and it gears you up to be able to volunteer and work in our teaching garden barn during the day to greet guests and help visitors, and it's a really great one if you're not wanting to commit to a full 10-week training to garden in the park. It's a really great kind of middle of the ground.
Well, I got to tell you, it's one of the most beautiful spots in the city, and I've gone by and seen everything from wedding layouts being shot to one album cover I know of. And it just is attractive and utilized by so many people.
It's so true. I mean, that's, I was talking to somebody and they said, what's your favorite part of your job? Which is always kind of it's a hard question to answer. But I think what's amazing about Woodward Park is there's so many, I mean, I got into this for my love of plants. And I fell in love with public gardens as kind of a civic asset to communities like Tulsa. But what I've really learned is just how much more it means to people than just, I mean, the plants are just a backdrop for these wonderful life events. So, sometimes weekly I stop and talk to people and they say, thanks for taking care of the park. This is where my husband proposed 40 years ago, and we used to, spend our weekends here, and now that he's gone, I come here to remember him. And it's much more than just a green space for people. It represents these life events for so many people. And so a lot of those, prom pictures, graduation photos, weddings, engagements, it's really great to have, to get to put my little, touch on a thing that means so much to people. The Garden Center is open Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 4, and then the Teaching Garden's open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 4.
You have a lot of kids that tour it?
Yes, there's so many, school groups, homeschool groups, just families. Right now, our Tulsa Garden Club is taking kind of our forefront of our children's programming. So every Tuesday until, I think, Thanksgiving, they set up free programming in the morning in the Teaching Garden. So it's Tuesdays in the Teaching Garden with what they call Generation Green. So the Garden Club is really, they're celebrating their 96th year, something like that this year.
Is that right?
They've been around longer than we have, yeah. And they really see the importance of making sure that the next generations continue to be involved in the environment. And so they put a lot of their efforts into that. So it's really fun to go down there on Tuesdays and see all the families doing free kids activities, and just a little bit of like, if you can spark that joy by touching dirt or touching grass, as we like to say.
Makes a difference.
Yes.
Makes a big difference.
Yes.
Well, the project, this renovation, it's a restoration in Woodward that runs about $1 million, privately raised money for 32 new trees. Is there room for 32 trees?
Yeah, so actually, and most of them have been planted. This project has been going on for about 4 years. It's our arboretum. So it's on all the construction work's happening on the front side of the park, and the arboretum's on the back side of the park, right near the Museum of Tulsa History and the Tulsa Garden Center. And about 4 years ago, we had lost a considerable amount of trees that were part of the original plantings in '64, and so we spent a lot of work walking through the arboretum with professional arborists. The city of Tulsa has a tree committee, and a real collaborative group to say what size tree you think would fit here, a big tree, small tree. So it's not 32 large oaks in the arboretum. There's some oaks, there's some maples, there's some smaller trees and shrubs and stuff.
Are you going to keep the Indian statue, the bronze statue?
Oh yes, I think that has some pretty considerable protection right now while the construction work is happening. But
That's a good deal.
all that statuary in Woodward Park is so beautiful, and it's not going anywhere.
Oh, great. Listen, Andy, thank you for coming by, and thanks for the job you're doing, and congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you so much.
I expect big things out of you, lad.
Yeah, and don't forget Wine and Roses, Friday, September 26th.
That sounds good. The days of wine and roses. We're out of time, my friend. We'll have you back down the road, all right? We're all out of time for this edition of Perspectives. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here next time.